Hey everybody, welcome back to another Friday where we're talking about anxiety and even different things that revolve around anxiety and how we're navigating through this world. One of the things that happens a lot when we do have high anxiety is conflict. And research shows that when one person brings up conflict or a topic in a harsh way, 90% of the time that's going to go in a very negative direction. Meaning if I have a concern and I bring it up to my spouse in a negative or harsh way, 96% of the time, then it's going to continue to go in a negative way. And the wound is going to get bigger, or the rupture is going to get bigger between us instead of us being able to come together. So the solve for that, the way we take care of that, is to be able to come to somebody through what's called a gentle startup or a gentle way to be able to really think through that. We typically have harsh startups in our relationships or conversations when we're feeling high anxiety, when we're feeling flooded, when we have so much going on and we're overwhelmed. And while this naturally does happen and there's not much that we can do to prevent it from happening ever, what we need to be able to do is think through things when we have the opportunity, and to be able to lower that anxiety, to take a few deep breaths, to be able to come to a place where we're able to think through, how do I want to approach this topic with this person that I care about? And oftentimes the relationship that I care more about is going to have more of these times where I really truly do need to think through that. That's where patience really comes in and partners well with gentleness and meekness. It's something that's important not just in our most close relationships with our spouses and our children and our families, but also with our friends and our coworkers and even on people on social media where there's more prone to be conflict and for people to misread what we're saying. And that's very often the case. Sometimes the harsh startup isn't because that's what I wanted to do or an approach I wanted to be able to move in, as much as it's something that I thought I was saying it in one way and they heard or perceived it in a different way. And so even being able to get it on the same page and say, whoa, I realize that right now this conflict is going on and I want to try this again. And then back up, almost kind of like in golf where you're asking for a mulligan. Back up and be able to reposition yourself to take another swing at that in a way that's going to help move the relationship and the conversation forward instead of getting kind of stuck in the mud. So that's something that maybe you could be thinking about this weekend and practicing throughout the course of the week, or even just be aware of when you are having these conversations or when you see somebody in conflict. Are you able to tell how it started? And to be able to know that 96% of the time that conflict happens and it gets more grounded in because of the harsh startup versus being able to take care of ourselves, lower our anxiety, lower our feelings of floodiness, and really think through, how do I want to approach this instead? Have a great weekend, and I'll see you next week.